This is going to be a screen replacement video on my, I call it an ASUS, some call it an ASUS. The model number is a Q502L. What happened with mine is, as you can see, the screens went pink on me, and at the bottom you can see the stripes coming up. I was told some of the LEDs have burned out down on the bottom row or something like that, but either way, I've also got a strip across the top there. You can see it's kind of blue. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace the screen. I got me a new screen. I ordered it from screencountry.com and it came today. Here's the new screen. There's two little plastic tabs, or two little plastic buttons right here, and they pop out pretty easily. So we're going to pop those out first. And there's two screws, or one screw under each one of those. Once you get those screws popped out, I found it easiest to start down here at the bottom corner. And I've got a real small headed screwdriver, just a flat blade. You get that in there and just give it a real small twist. Now you don't go in too far because you don't want to scratch that screen. Alright. Then once I get it going, I can get my finger under there. It puts a little pressure on there. It makes it a little easier to get it off. And there it goes. Alright. Once you get the screen loose like this, separated from the back cover, just lift it back up. And you'll see the cable right here. Be careful you don't cut it when you pop it out of there. I just use the smooth part of the blade. It gives you a little more room there. And the cable for the, let me see if I can get that a little better. There we go. Alright, now this cable, this gray cable, this is just going up and this is feeding the camera, and I believe the digitizer, but we still need to get this tape off here because it's connected to the screen. So I'm just going to peel that back a little bit. And I'm not worried about tearing the paper on the screen or anything, for obvious reasons. Okay, now the cable for this, you just lift up this tape. Give it a pull back on it that way, and it'll pop the cable right out. I see a lot of them's got screws, but this one doesn't even have screws. So I've read that if it doesn't have screws, then it's just glued in. And I did pop it up a little bit the other night to see how tight it was, and it actually didn't seem like it was that tight, the glue anyway. So I'm going to try to just pry it up. If you start having issues getting it off of here, you can take a hairdryer and heat the front of it a little bit so you don't break the screen. I'm going to see if I can get this pried up first, see if it'll come loose, which it seems to be. There it goes. I'm not going to unhook this. I've seen some on other screen replacements that they do. I don't see any reason to. I think I can get the screen out just fine without removing all that, so I'm going to leave it. Figure the less things you mess with, the less chance of ruining something or breaking something. So, and just pull up a little bit. There it is. There's the old screen. Alright, it's just got double stick tape right around the edge here. is all this one's got. Alright, now this has got a protective cover over the screen itself. So I'm going to try to get that off quickly. Try to keep the screen facing down. That way nothing has a chance to settle down on it. And we're just going to lay it right back down in here. I'm going to press around this a little bit, but I'm not going to go too crazy with it because I do not want to bust it. Okay, get my cable for the camera and that rerouted in here. Okay, now your cable again is the same way, just reverse. Let's just see if I can get in a little closer for you here. Alright, so we're just going to set it down in here. Try to stay out of your way so you can see it. You can feel 2 little clicks as you push it in. There's 1, there's 2. And then you want to take your tape, stick your tape back down. Now keep the cable from backing itself out on you. Alright, now, tricky part. You've got to, and I know this because I've done it 2 or 3 times, you've got to close the lid in order to get these cables back into their holders. Now, you don't have to close it completely, but you got to close it quite a bit. And it can get kind of tricky. I know this is tricky because, like I said, I've done it a few times already. You've got to get it really close to get it back up in there. There it goes. Alright, that one's in. Alright, they're both in. So I'm just going to set it back up there real quick. Now you hear it snapping as you go back around it. It just snaps together is all it does. And I like to lay it back out flat. If you've got a flip screen like this, if it's the same model, it should be, you can lay it flat. Snap everything back down. Okay, now all you gotta do is put your screws back in. I'm going to let you watch it as I turn it on, and we'll see what happens. That should do it. Turn the light off, that way you can see better. Okay, here we go. You see that's not pink. So this definitely fixed it. Now I got a dual boot. I've got Windows 10 on this, and I've also got a Linux Mint on it. Alright, that fixed it. I can tell already this ASUS, the splash screen here, was also pink. My loading bar was also pink. And we'll see when we get to the login screen. And I notice also my bars, or I call them theater lights, is what they look like, coming off the bottom. Those are gone also. And I don't see any dead pixels either on this screen, which is really nice. Yeah, the screen looks real good. Yeah, that looks really good. I don't know if the camera does it any justice, but that looks really good. The colors do. But okay, so that's it. I mean, I've got to go in and maybe, I think I've got to drop the contrast down a little bit, and maybe the brightness. The screen itself, I think, cost me, I believe it was $61, and that was with $14 or $15 in shipping. So there's my little video on that. I've never seen any with the touch screen. Speaking of, I should probably show you that. You can see the touch screen still works fine. Everything's working great on it, just like it always did. I'd highly recommend buying a screen and just doing it yourself. If you got any questions at all, down in the comments. Go ahead and ask, and I'll try to answer.